Hi, Ian Roberts, Mastering Composition and Simplifying the Painting Process. So last week I asked if demos were a good way to go, and a lot of people said, yeah, we love them, please make more. But a number of people said, but creative authenticity, what about that? So I thought I'd do that today because, skills are important. All the different things we're trying to develop, fundamental, right? If you want to express yourself, you need skills. And to my mind, those skills rest on a structure of composition. Otherwise, they're pulling apart. They become parts rather than an integrated whole. But in a sense, beneath that also is what we're calling creative authenticity, or maybe curiosity of vision. Because what is it that you want to say? What do you do? What do you actually want to say as an artist? What do you want to share with us? Because that's the thing that's interesting. That's the thing that's engaging. I mean, are you trying to make your work look like, the work in the juried shows so that you can get in the juried shows? Anything. Whether it's a vase of flowers that's been done 1,000 times, anything can be seen fresh and immediate and personal if you're willing to sort of find that place for it. So developing that curiosity of vision, I think, is fundamental to really making our work personal, engaging, and fresh for the viewer. Then it becomes almost more like a journal, like a diary, something personal that we're sharing with other people. What's interesting to you? What caught your eye? Why? What part of the universe, what quirky part of the universe have you found? Now that takes a certain amount of insight and courage, but that's part of what it is to be an artist. I think, isn't it? And so I wanted to share some artists with you today that I think, most of them, all of them are representational. If you look in the contemporary world of art, non-representational, there's lots of quirky personal stuff going on. But in terms of representational painting, I just thought most of them are historical, they're long gone, but they still had interesting ways of looking at the world. Some of them are still alive, and there's one contemporary one I think you'll find interesting. So we can talk again at the end of the slideshow. The first person I want to deal with is a woman named Eileen Hogan. She had a show last year at Yale. She's British. And she pretty much spends her time painting the gardens in London. And this was a whole series, and it gives you a sense. This is a sketchbook, obviously not very large. And she's preparing some paintings of bluebells. So you can see the preparation she's doing in finding color, getting organized. There's one of the paintings. It's about 30 by 30. And it's not sort of your normal idea of what a painting is, but boy, it's beautifully painted. And there's a whole series of very small paintings, just like 2.5 by 3.5 inches, preparation sketches and ideas as she gets engaged in what she wants to paint. This is her painting in another garden, and you think, well, what exactly is she painting here? And danged if it isn't the plastic fence itself. Devilishly difficult to paint, I would think, but you can just see the idea of curiosity of vision really applies to this person. This is Len Schmiel, a Colorado painter. Paints a lot of plein air. This is quite a large studio painting done from a plein air piece, but it's a water series, and he's just focusing in on water. Beautifully painted, aren't they? But there's vision to that. He's really carving into sort of the abstraction and the vision of what's caught his attention. This is Fairfield Porter, and I think he's interesting because he does things very simply, almost crudely, but he just paints his home, his family, the people that surround him, his house, the landscape around it. It's a very personal vision that he just keeps working on year after year after year. The things at hand, you could say. Curious about the very place he lives and the people he lives with. This is Gustav Clinton, and you'd say, well, that's an unusual landscape. I wonder what made him think about painting that. And yet there's another one. There's a whole series of them, just face in the forest, thick, dense, beautiful. This is Wyeth, and Andrew Wyeth just gets stopped, arrested by odd things. But you really get a sense that he's seeing something. There's a real sense of vision when he latches on to sort of a tree stump and some barbed wire. This is Richard Diebenkorn during his figurative period, and it's his studio sink. It's a big painting. It's about 60 inches wide. And yet it really has the sense of like, oh my God, will you look at that? I love this painting. It's Stanley Spencer, Englishman, his little village of Cookham. He lived in Cookham all his life. He just painted Cookham. I mean, he painted lots of other things too. A lot of actually allegorical paintings of Christian themes. But this is what he did. It wasn't like, oh, Cookham's beautiful. He just painted Cookham the way it was. This is Claes Oldenburg. And I mean, he drew so well. He could draw anything and he'd make it look good. Just some old cigarette butts. But I mean, wow. He turned that into sculpture. That's why he's doing the drawing. But it really is like, wow, he's seeing something there. And this is a guy named, I'm going to say it, Mikhail Borman's. It's a whole series called The House of Opportunity. And you can see the guy obviously knows how to paint. He's got skills, but what is it? It's a big building with tons and tons of windows. And this is some workmen building that building. You can see the wall with all the windows in it here. Building the building, I guess, for a museum show or something. I'm not really sure. And there it is again, like on a table at a different scale. But obviously, he paints incredibly well. But he's just engaged in an extremely personal vision. One that makes a lot of sense to him. Quirky, but I find it really engaging. I can't quite figure it out, but I'm intrigued. So I hope you found that triggered some ideas of like, what is it that engages me? What is it that, like a journal we could say, that I want to share with the world? It's personal, unique, and not just making it look the way art is supposed to look. Because, you need skills to develop that. You need structure in order to put it together. But in the end, you need curiosity, a vision. You need courage, I suppose, to go in and dig for it. And that's the thing, I think, that we're interested in seeing from you. So I hope you found that interesting, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye for now.